Uh, Hello everyone. I hope this sound is okay because I haven't done something like this in quite a while. Um, so today we're gonna just be looking at a what are we gonna be looking at? We're gonna be looking at a replay from our good friend Megaz, or however you say his name, Mejaz, maybe. Who knows? Anyway, this guy is a very common participant in the Reddit Dota Discord. Usually he's crying about his team, so we're gonna have a look. You know what exactly is going wrong. Let's see. So, um, playing Bane pos 5 with a Monkey King on lane. Looks like it's gonna be Bristle enemy off lane with probably Snap 5 or something like that. So Magic Stick is nice for the Bristle. It's a pretty good item, efficient. Um, yeah, this all looks good. Pretty good items. I'm gonna speed this a bit up a little bit. But yeah, usually, when you look at enemy lane and look at your lane, you want to think about what you want to buy. Like, your monkey started Uve, so you want to buy a salve for him. And Magic Stick is always good against Bristle, it's just a value item. The other problem that you have to consider is, like, how strong are the enemy team's lanes compared to your lanes, both on your lane and the off lane? Because something like DK Veno is pretty strong level 1, I would say, if they go like Q and Q. And Anti-Mage is not that good level 1, especially against Veno, because if he levels Q, he gets slowed, he just gets beat on by DK, and, well. So sometimes you need to consider, like, if their bot lane is significantly weaker, there's a good chance that they leave 3 people top to try and get first blood on you. So that's something to really worry about. Like, the two of you shouldn't both be standing here, like watching here, because the one of their supports could have already run over here and he can flank into you like this. So if I were you, like, just in level 1, I would position myself like in this area or something like that. Just protect your carry from the gank. There's a lot of people, they like to stand here and they cut this tree and they run in. Like, these guys give vision here, and then when you run out down to contest in the low ground. But it's fine. I think you guys got vision on bot lane, so you see the 2 enemies. This is kind of bad to do. Um, I'm actually gonna rewind a tiny bit here. This is kind of a bad thing to do because like, it's 27 seconds before the rune spawns, right? Like, you should click on this bristle and see what items he has. So you see he has a ward. Like, don't stand on the low ground like this against something like Lich or something like that. And you shouldn't really use your brain slap to open the tray because you haven't taken any damage yet. So just hit him a few times, and then when he cool sprays you, and then you brain slap, and then it's actually gonna heal you. But yeah, so that's like the main thing. You can see the Huskar shows up. You have to run away. But yeah, this is what I mean about, like, just not playing like on the low ground when you don't see enemy heroes, because someone can just rotate in and your nature's prophet isn't there and he's not in position to be there. So the main mistake here is, like, just positioning, fighting for level 1 rune at a bad time, and using your brain sap way too early, like before it actually heals you. Um, so here, let's see. You can't just AFK in the trees. Like, you should go fight them even 1v2, like, right? Okay, so Lich. Wait, well, I'm kind of confused actually. What's going on here? Maybe I'll watch this from your player perspective. All right, so you can have a look at this Bristle. He lost his 1 ward, so that's something that you should do all the time. Just, like, look at enemy teams, see if they have wards or not. Once again, your brain sap on full health is like, well, like, not completely full health, but it's still like really. It's just a really early brain sap, right? Like, you can go hit him a lot because the brain sap has like an animation, so you want to be walking into him and attacking a lot of times, and then using brain sap at the end when he's almost out of range. So yeah, like, here would be good. Here you have 10 stick charges. You just pop them because like, you're not gonna bait a bristle and a lich. You can just press it now and it's gonna gather value. Um, the other thing is, when you see that the bristle doesn't have a ward, you should now click on lich and see if he has a ward. He doesn't have a ward, which means that he has warded here somewhere, and almost certainly if he goes over here at minute 1, it means he blocks this camp or he wards here. So you should just you should ship a sentry right now instead of a mango. You don't need mana in this lane. You already have magic stick to compensate. The other thing is when you do hit. I'm sorry for rewinding so much, by the way, but it's like important. In order to make it so that you don't push out the lane when you attack, you should make sure that you start your attacks from outside 400 range and don't keep hitting after like 3 seconds. Because if you attack from outside 400 range, the creeps will lose their aggro time on you, and you get about 3 seconds of free attacks on the bristle. Anyway, like you should go over here and check if these is. Well, I guess if you don't buy a sentry, then you're not actually really even paying attention to it. But here, you run over. This is like not the right timing at all. It's 14 to pull, probably 18 at the latest. If you start running at this point, it's not gonna do anything. And leaving your Monkey King 1v2 is a really bad idea in this lane because he has, 1 armor. It's problematic for him. If you do want to pull, what you should do is you should cut this. You should cut this tree and you should pull it at 17. That was like more of a reasonable timing to do it. So you cut this tree and then you pull it upwards at 17 or 47 and it would have been fine. So here you can attack the bristle for free, but like again, just start your attacks from outside range. 400 range, you start from here, you hit him like 2-3 times, you get back, you or like walk into trees. Just think about your positioning in lane, right? Like you're showing on the lane, like 3 creeps are just hitting you. You don't pop your stick, you're not really doing anything. 53, you can go stack this because your Monkey King would have been fine in this situation because the bristle was low and you can click on him. You can see he has tangos, no regen, no salves. Again, like just pop your stick, man. Damn. Here you're in like a really bad 1v2 situation. The difference now from between now and earlier is that like they're level 2 now, so this guy's gonna have an extra spell, right, to kill you with. So this is really bad. Like just be careful. Don't try not to fight 1v2 on level 2 because usually Bane is so strong at level 1 he can usually 1v2 people, but at level 2 it's kind of hard. Here you could have pulled upwards at 17, cut that tree and pull. But yeah, it's fine. You should call your courier. Like, what are you waiting for? I don't understand, actually. They move in a courier. You can go try and kill it if you want. Alright, here, it's like fine to do, right? But if this guy was good, he would have leveled Vicious Nasal Goo and he would have killed you here, so. Yeah. It's okay, like, your carry is having a decent time in lane. Like, you just need to think about popping your stick and... Because they've already used, like, 20, maybe 30 spells in this lane. You're just saving the stick to bait people with. It's not really worth it, you know? Like, just stick now and you can Nightmare him. Like, you can just Nightmare him right now and you hit him one time. Like, this is so late. Like, your Monkey King, cancel your sleep now. And you're tanking wave. Like, this fight is really, really, really bad and it's mostly your fault, I would say. Like... For starters, you should be on way higher health than this because you should have called your courier in already with Sentry and 2 mangoes or whatever, and you should pop your stick and buy 1 almost. You pop your stick way too late. Like what you should do is you don't really want to be fighting into the enemy wave. So when it's like 44 something like this, right? You just sleep him here and your Monkey King walks forwards so that he doesn't have to be tanking creeps and it just makes the positioning easier. Like you sleep so late here, like your Monkey King actually has to hit creeps just to stay alive, and then when you run into here, you know, like it's just really bad. Like try and Nightmare him in a position where, you know, like you don't have to fight into a wave. That's pretty much what I'm trying to say here. Oh, that's so bad by your Monkey. God damn. Like that's lane losing, but I mean you've just not really played reasonably. Sage's Mask is really bad item in this particular case. Because usually when people buy Basilius on POS 5, it's because they have a mana hungry POS 1, or they buy level 1 or something like that. Monkey King really does not use his mana that much, he just has 1 Q. So what you should buy is a Raindrop for Lich maybe, or you can buy Ring of Protection if you really want. Like buy the Buckler, it's pretty good for both of you against the physical damage lineup, or you can buy, yeah. I mean, there's just way better items. You can even upgrade your stick into 1 or whatever, right? So here, when you're walking to lane, just meandering, you can like walk over here, you cut this tree, you stack it 53 and you try and pull. But it's fine, you probably wouldn't have made it anyway. Like if I had a Wind Lace, I would have done that, but you have Sage's Mask. Again, you open with your W, and now you're fighting inside a creep wave. This is like the worst thing you can possibly do. Like, look at your health total, right? You're on 700 health. You open up with your brain sap, which is your trading tool. Now look at your health now, right? I think you took about 200 damage to creeps. Like, you don't have to aggro the creeps to fight, you know? When you click him, make sure the creeps don't go on you. Otherwise, you're going to lose the trade. Because essentially, it's like having a third enemy hero on the lane. Because you're ranged hero with no... damage block effect. Like, stout shield, basically. So now the lane is under your tower. You don't have to sap his XP. If you let Monkey King get a lot of XP here, he will 1v2 the lane. So this is good. Try not to take his XP on the tower. You took like 2 range creep XP. You don't really have to pull here because you should really be setting up to contest the bounty runes. But you can pull late. Maybe like you get a range creep or 2. Yeah, I mean, it's like fine, but it's not great because like you can take the bounty rune for free here. It's like it's doing a single pull like this when the lane is already in a decent spot is kind of pointless, especially when the bristleback's dead. If you do want to pull like that, you should pull 18 and make sure the creeps don't attack you and draw aggro from the whole wave. Just try and get 1 melee, 1 range. This is a nice kill on Lich, but it's still better to get the bounty rune overall because it's 50 gold to everyone, so it's 250, 500 gold swing for both teams. And now you give Bristleback a pushed in lane because it's double wave. Like you could have pulled the 17 up again, or you can even do the diagonal pull if you want to try it. Like it's really bad to just give him like a full wave like this, but it's fine. Maybe Monkey can zone him out. Anyway, you have Buckler now. Like I don't understand why you don't have boots actually. Like the Sage's Mask is a really overrated item, but you know, it's fine. You probably can't gank Huskar. Nature's Prophet's getting gone on. You should probably just TP right now. This is a really bad TP from you. It like won't accomplish anything ever. You need to think about this TP, right? Like, firstly, what was the reason for walking here into the middle of your jungle camp to begin with? Because like you can't gank the Huskar with a Nature's Prophet. Like it's never gonna work. If you don't have a smoke and you don't have grip, right? There's just no damage coming out. If you come here, then your Monkey King has to zone out a Bristle and a Lich when you already gave them a double wave, when you could like come here and pressure the kill, and then if they died, the wave goes on the tower and they lose all XP. So the other option is that you came here to stack, but anyway, this TP is just nonsensical. Like just think about whether or not it would actually change anything. Like if your Nature's Prophet is walking away on 200 health, burning to death, you know, it's really not going to do anything. And if you TP just to take XP, then you can just walk from here to here. It takes way shorter time. And you should stack these 2 camps as well. You can stack this one like 53, you can stack this one 54, you should stack double camp. It's really good. And the other danger with TPing into Huskar's lane is that this is kind of, you know, like Huskar can't break TP, so like you can't safely stand here anyway. Anyway, you ward here. Let me just think if this makes sense. This is like... It's kind of a weird ward, right? Because I don't really see what it accomplishes. I don't know. It seems like a weird ward to place to me. Because you already have this mid-tier 1, right? It gives vision on this ramp. So it doesn't give the rune vision if your Nature's Prophet really wants to contest runes. And all it gives is this one hill. Like it just gives vision on this hill, but there's better wards you can place to give vision of this hill in a more aggressive way. Like you can place a ward here, for example, if you de-ward first here. Anyway, this is just a really defensive hill ward. It's like, look at the vision it gives. It's like overlapping completely with your tower. It's really bad early game ward if you keep your tier 1. Anyway, it's fine though. You should buy more sentries as well when you play pulse 5. Like usually I just spam out sentries whenever I can after boosts, but okay, you're just like sort of walking around here, like I don't understand what the play is. Okay, you're gonna put ward here. I don't know. I guess it's fine. But I think you should have stacked 2 camps because your Nature's Prophet's not having a good time. Again, you're like trying to gank Huskar. I can already tell you this is not going to go well because it's too slow, right? You Nightmare, you do this, there's no damage coming out, they can TP in as many heroes as they want, you're just going to die. Like, never go for this sort of play on Huskar with a level 3 Bane because there's just no damage. Especially with Nightmare, it's like a very slow... it's a very slow spell, and they can like especially on Radiant, they can TP into these trees really easy, and even on Dire they can do that. It's really bad gank. You should be top and you should be pressuring Bristle. So you respawn. Okay, gonna walk to lane, I guess. But like, you're gonna walk mid. It's just like again, like you walk halfway to mid and you TP in on this 200 HP Nature's Prophet who you can't save anyway. So like, and now if the Huskar goes on you, you just die as well. And he has life break. Like you can die here pretty easily. But I mean, I don't know. I think it's really bad. Like just playing with no mana here against the Huskar with no TP scroll, he can literally dive you and kill you for free. It's just really bad. You're not even getting XP because you're playing so defensive. Like, you could be top right now and you guys could be killing Bristle 100 times in a row, but you TP mid twice, you do nothing, you die both times. Hopefully here you stack the camps. I mean, it's 53, right? Stack one camp. You can stack both camps, but no big deal. Like, just think about this, right? You place this aggressive ward, it's like the anti-jungle ward. Maybe the Bristle will go jungle and your Nature's Prophet can group up and combine with your team to get kills. But if you never play top, then you're asking your Monkey King to basically push them out of lane 1v2. And your Monkey King actually does have a lot of farm and items. And he's level 7, right? All he needs is a little bit of help from you to control them. So, like, you should be playing here and forcing them into jungle, and then your Nature's Prophet has something to do. Like, your Nature's Prophet can play an enemy jungle. And you can like just have Veno hold mid. But like as it stands, the way you've warded it makes no sense in correlation to how you are trying to play. Like here you're really defensive. It's level 7 monkey. Just nightmare him right now. And then your monkey can get on top of him. Like just use your nightmare as like a positioning spell. Because the Huskar is like you see Huskar mid, so it's not a problem. This is like really, really bad. I just press. Oh no, it's so shit actually. Damn. Like I understand nightmaring him on the tower, right? But it's more important to get these bounty runes again than it is to get this kill. And even like just press Q, man. I don't know if you're lagging or something. Okay, now you have a book with which to get. Okay, I mean this is a. Always place your sentries before you place your wards, by the way, because if they do have a ward, then you don't want to place the sentry. And having 2 wards like this is really bad as well, because, I mean, like, it's just not going to really accomplish much, is it? Like, these 2 wards are kind of, I don't know. Anyway, they're doing Roche, apparently. Like, this is what I mean about this ward, right? Usually, if I want to place a ward like this, I'll place it here or, like, in the river, and then it would have given vision on him. Anyway, he dies to Roche because he's fucking terrible. You get your boots at long last. Okay. I mean, go check Roche. It's not even low. It's fine. Alright, you have level 6 now, so really you should be thinking about going top, because Monkey King's the only person you can play around. Like, your DK can't kill Anti-Mage, because you don't have enough damage on that lane. So really you should just buy Smoke and go kill Bristle a few more times. Let your Monkey King solo carry this game. Try and give him enough of a game so that he can out-carry Anti-Mage. But just walking around the mid lane, doing nothing, chilling. You can go place aggressive vision with a smoke, but you've wasted all your wards like on the same bullshit. Like this ward is like completely useless. It did nothing for 6 minutes. Then you place this ward. Like this ward at minute 11 is not going to do anything because this is mostly like a rune vision ward. Like seeing the enemy high ground against Huskar is not really that useful. You should have placed like a ward maybe here or like this one like on the side or this one. You just see anti-mage stop him from jungling. Like you see you've warded like 4 wards in this area, but the problem is the enemy team are always going to be wanting to play in their main jungle, so it's like it doesn't actually give any vision. Like the only relevant ward is really this one, and you guys aren't playing aggressive enough. You saw him place that ward because it's really bad to do something like this because you're never going to kill him, and it gives him knowledge that you have a ward up here. I mean, it's going to run out, I guess, but like, it's just kind of bad, because what if the Huskar's here? In fact, the Huskar is here. It's like, just so bad. Like, why would you click the Lich 3 times like that? It's so pointless. Like, just see he put a ward here, run away, and come back later with a sentry and de-ward it. That's all you need to do. Like, don't go for these solo plays on position 5. It's really random and terrible. Okay, you bought a sentry. I hope you de-ward that one, because you literally watched him place it. Okay, somehow you didn't realize you placed it. Like, always click on the enemy hero's inventory. It's like all the time. Just click, 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 click. See if wards disappear or not. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess. This is like a fine TP. I guess you can't really grip because of the E. Their vision here. I mean, did they de-ward this? They dewarded this ward, which implies that they have vision here. But you shouldn't really place, like, it's kind of terrible to place 2 wards in exactly the same place like this, and you place... Right, what you need to understand is that they dewarded your ward here, right? So they probably have vision here already. And then you place a sentry in the exact same place, and then you just place a wall without finding their wall. So they're just going to deward this one as well. Like, just place it somewhere different. Like, this is like only a few possibilities. Don't place it here, like place it here, try and get more vision. Anyway, you get the bounty room, which is fine. Like, just try and buy some smokes and go do something. Like, push this top tier 1 armor. Like, you should have dewarded this as well. I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. Don't like, when you play Bane, don't just stand in the middle of the push. Like, you're literally hitting this tower for 5 damage a click, right? And then, like, it's so easy for the enemy to see where you are, and they just position around you, and they have someone ready to cancel your Fiend's Grip. And it's so obvious that they have vision on this high ground as well. Like, if you're going to push a tier 1, you need to deward this immediately. Like, just put a sentry up there and run back. Your team dewards it, and then you, like, play around in the shadows, and when the fight is, like, sort of or breaking down and you see most of the stuns are used, you just walk in and grip someone. Like, standing here and sieging solo's Bane without having any vision ready is so bad. Anyway, you TP bot, you guys are trying to do something on anti-mage, I guess. I don't know, there's like no vision here either. Like, you just used up all of your vision defensively and now you can't play the game. Anyway, you finally get your wards. You take this shrine. You don't actually take this shrine. Like, you just spend the whole game running around. Why don't you just come here and place a sentry up here and place a ward up there? Like, what's the point of warding mid tier 1 at this moment in the game? It's like only good. It's like minute 17, you ward it again. Then you place a sentry here. Like, there's no indication that they've not invaded your jungle one time. Like, why would they have a ward here? You've never seen, like, you've had wards in this area very commonly, right? So you know that they haven't been up here. So it's just like really random way to place sentries. I don't know. You know, just running around again. You guys have no vision to play off, which makes it really hard. You have no aggressive vision. Your team have to, like, just play passive against the... Okay, you finally smoke. When you smoke, always have a ward on you, because when you go high ground, you want to see what you're walking into. So, like, this is kind of bad. Anyway, decent grip. I mean, it's a nice grip. Good try on the Nightmare, but, you know, ultimately it's a fine play. Like, you just need more vision in these fights, right? Like, when you smoke in here, you know, you can just place a ward in the middle of the lane. You see the guy in the back here. Maybe someone can control him before you chain frost. And try and open with your brain sap as well on the before the Fiend's Grip, because it does quite a lot of damage. And Huskar, he doesn't have any magic resist anymore. Anyway, the Basilius and the Buckler aren't doing anything. Like, you should have gone for, like, maybe half a Glimmer Cape or maybe like Arcane Boots. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, Aether Lens, right? What are we doing? This ward is really bad. Your team are trying to play aggressive and fast against anti-mage. There's no reason to place this ward before a fight breaks out. The enemy team aren't really positioning to push your bot tier 1 or anything like that. Here, when there's a fight here, I would always assume that they have vision. So they probably have one ward here and maybe up here as well. And look, they have exactly 2 wards. Like, enemy team will always fight on their vision. So as your job as position 5 is to kill the vision before the fight really breaks out. They're definitely gonna have wards here and here if they fight here. Like, there's no way they don't. Otherwise, it's not an advantageous fight for them to take, and they just won't fight. But like, you're just wasting all your wards and sentries on just random shit. Like, they're placing their vision, and then they're fighting around it, and you're placing your vision in possible defensive locations. Like, how can your team fight around this tier 1 tower? Like, you guys are trying to push into an anti-mage, right? Like, you can't force him to come here. Just save your wards and put it during fights. You ward in the river. This is fine, because like, they have Huskar, so they probably want to contest Roche at some point. But I mean, like, the problem is, because they have Huskar and they want to contest Roche at some point, you can assume that they also have vision here, so you should place your sentry first. You find this one, you can place it somewhere different. Like, you can place it here, maybe. You place this ward here, it kind of makes sense, because maybe they go tier 2. But if they go tier 2, they probably have vision deeper at this point. Like, it's probably up here or something, but I mean, it's fine to check. You guys kill Lit for free. You guys kill Bristle. It's a very nice brain sap. Um, but like, yeah, you just buying like the walls off cooldown. But like, I mean, it's like, damn, dude. Like you sentry here and then you place a ward up here. You can probably place this ward on this little hill. It's like way harder to de-ward. It's nicer ward. You buy cloak. Like running around in the back lines. Like buy a smoke and get your team to do something. They're pushing tier 2. Okay. I don't know. It's like fight breaks out, you should have a wall and you just instantly place it here and you see everything. Yeah, it's like, I don't know, the anti-mage is like too big now. I mean, the main thing is like, you know, just think about where you stand in lane. Like at the start of the game, don't stand in the middle of the river. Like don't AFK here for no reason. You didn't pull one time in 10 minutes in a lane. All you did was a single pull at minute 5 when you go for bounty rune. You give them double rune. You like keep walking mid. Just think about the limits of your hero, like what it can and cannot do. Like Bane is not a strong ganker at level 5 or level 4 or level 3. Like Nature's Prophet versus Huskar, there's just no way you kill him with Nightmare because it's like such a slow spell. They're always going to counter initiate and set up on you. And when you do find lane, you're always dragging so much creep aggro on you. Just start the attack from 400 range out and then do 2 clicks and then walk back into the trees. And they're like, you know, walking around. They can't cast spells on you. Make sure you use Brain Sap to heal as well. And make sure you pop your stick every time it reaches 10. Unless it's like a lane where you want to bait them into your tower. But you guys are going aggressive. And if you do place Vision, just think about why you place the Vision. Like some of your wars are just so random. Like you just place them on cliffs that towers that aren't going to be pushed for like another 10-15 minutes, and then you place aggressive Vision, you don't play around it, you don't click on enemy heroes. Like you literally saw this ward, you saw this ward, there's like a few more that, you know, I could say like probably this one you could have guessed as well. This top tier 1 push was really bad. You like start the fight in full Vision. Like a lot of these fights you're just standing around in Vision. Every time you smoke you don't have a ward on you. Like your team never see anything and their backliners are just staying alive. Like Lich gets a nice chain frost off every fight and this guy gets Mortimer's kisses off. I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, just try and work on those things. Like, do one thing at a time, and don't get overwhelmed. Like, start with about manipulating creep aggro in lane, like making sure the creeps don't attack you, and then maybe after a few games of making sure you never aggro the creeps on you, you can work on like your pulling and your timings and your stacking, and then after that maybe like your ward game, and then after that like your team fight positioning, and then after that, you know, like just take it one thing at a time, man. And like, you know, whenever you have time, just look at some pro replays, see how they position the lane, see how they place the ward. Like pause it often, think about what they're doing, like why they do something, and then see if it actually works out for them or not. Because like pro players aren't perfect, right? They make mistakes as well. But yeah, I mean, good luck. You can maybe message me in the future and we see how it goes, right, from this point.